Have you ever thought about the health benefits when it comes to overlanding? Hi, everybody. I'm Rob, and this is Stormcore Overland. We talk about going on adventures, road tripping, camping, and just generally getting out and enjoying life. And I figured November is Men's Health Awareness Month, and figured good time to talk about some of the health benefits of overlanding. And like I said, even though it is Men's Health Awareness Month, pretty much everything I'm going to talk about applies to everybody. It's just the reason I'm talking about it. That's all. Um, when it comes to your health, two main things: you get physical health, mental health, both super important. Um, Sorry, I just dropped on my notes. I'm gonna try this again. So, first, when it comes to physical health, this is just your body. It's what kind of shape you're in, what kind of condition you're in. And I'm not talking about like fitness, but it is kind of that. Your health is tied into that. Physical health affects your quality of life. It increasing your physical health. It can help develop your confidence, your self worth. If you feel physically good, you're going to feel mentally good. You're just going to feel better overall. It can help prevent disease, and it can increase your energy. When it comes to these things, I mean, quality of life is a big one for me. How much would it suck to go overlanding and you go out, you run some trails throughout the day, you get to camp, and you unload your rig, you set your tent up, you get everything else set up, whatever you need to do, and then you're too exhausted to really cook a good meal, or you're ready to go hit the sack at 7 o'clock because it's you're just worn out. Um, and it doesn't give you time to hang out with your buddies and stuff, and sit around the campfire, and that's part of the fun. That's part of the reason you're there. The confidence and self worth is important too because if a lot for me, overlanding, a lot of it is things that help build your confidence. You tackle challenges. You go, oh, I don't know if I can get through this trail, and then you do, and then that gains that confidence. Or, oh no, what if I get stuck? Or what if this happens? And the more you do it, the more you gain that confidence that you're going to be able to, get through that, and it starts carrying over into other parts of life. Uh, if you've got the confidence to get unstuck from a mud, when you're stuck in a mud pile or something, you have the confidence to unstuck yourself in other parts of life. Prevent disease is another big one. We're filming in my office instead of outside where I normally try to film because there's people in my house are all sick right now, and I haven't had a chance to go out and go film somewhere neat outside. So we're kind of improvising how to get something done. So this is what we're doing. Uh, but disease prevention, because yeah, like my wife's sick right now, and she would love to be doing anything besides sitting on the bed and sitting on the couch all week trying to get over pneumonia. So anything we can do to prevent sickness, especially with COVID and everything else, and it's flu season, and it would suck to miss a trip because you were sick. It would suck to you put all the time and planning and energy on going on a big trip, and you get sick right before it, or you get sick during it. That's no fun. It ruins everything. So whatever we can do to keep from getting sick is great, and part of that is taking care of yourself physically. And I dropped my notes again. Finally, increasing the energy. It goes the increase in the energy for me ties back into that whole quality of life thing. You want to go? We go on overlanding trips and stuff like this, and road trips and all that other stuff to go to cool places, to go see stuff. And how much would it suck to drive 3 or 4 days to get to a really cool place and not have the energy to walk, you know, quarter of a mile to an awesome outlook and get a cool picture and get a great view? That sucked. It kind of almost defeats the purpose of everything. I mean, you want to get out so you can do things and have fun, and that requires energy. So if you're getting, like I said, if you're getting worn out setting up your tent, you may have a problem, and I work on it. And I'm not immune to it. I'm obviously I've carried a decent amount of extra weight, um, and it does affect things. I get tired sooner than I need to. I don't have as much energy as I wish I did. Trying to work on it. Something I just recently started is I got this thing. It's called a steel mace. It's kind of like a kettlebell on a stick, and it's a lot of swinging it around and motions like that. And I was hoping to film this outside so I could like show you how you swing it around and stuff. But it's a weight on a stick, and you move it around, and it engages lots of different muscle groups when you're using it. It's a neat way to work out. Um, Something else I'm looking into that you may end up seeing a video on soon is we have a here at the house we have a very very minimal gym setup in the garage, and one of the things is we have a TRX type setup. It's not actually a TRX brand, but it's something like that where you have the straps and grips and you can and do stuff, and it's been great. I tore my rotator cuff over the summer doing some of the stuff with the steel mace and some of the stuff with the TRX straps. It's been really great trying to rehab my shoulder to get it back to where it used to be. Um, like I said, I tore it in June or July, and it's still not back to normal. So it's rehabbing stuff sucks. But what I've been considering is trying to put together a small TRX style setup to keep in my Forerunner. Something that I could hook, to the roof rack and have strap coming down, and be able to do raises and pulls and stuff like that. Or also have it set up where I could throw it over a tree branch or something. It thought it'd be a neat idea. Something small, lightweight, that takes up not a lot of room, and could be able to work out anywhere I have my vehicle. Same thing with this. That's one of the reasons I got this too. It's long and skinny. It'd be easy to stick in the vehicle somewhere, even with the rest of my gear. I thought it'd be a neat way to get workouts in while I'm out doing things. And then the last thing that I need to do more of is my wife is a yoga instructor, and I've done a fair amount of yoga with her. I know I do not look like your traditional yoga person, and I'm not, but I've definitely seen benefits when I do it consistently with my wife, when she kind of forces me to. But I definitely see benefits from it, whether it's just in helping kind of calm my mind, whether it's helping with core strength and stability, or just stuff like that. Flexibility too. That's another big one with the yoga stuff, uh, and that's something you can do anywhere. You don't need blankets or blocks or yoga mats or anything. You can do it anywhere. Like I said, not traditional yogi person, but just to give y'all an idea, I am not the best when it comes to vinyasa. If any of y'all are yoga people, but I can guarantee I can out shavasana anybody watching this. So just different kinds of yoga stuff. If you're a yoga person, you'll get the joke that I made. The other thing is, so that's kind of some of the physical health stuff. The other main thing I wanted to make this for was mental health. Men especially, and I'm speaking as one, we are really, really bad at taking care of our own mental health. Everybody jokes about us being bad about going to the doctor and taking care of our physical health. We are even worse at taking care of our mental health. I'm definitely one of those. I've been there. Uh, I've gone through pretty dark multi-year depression, dealing with some PTSD issues, but making progress. I feel like I've made a lot of progress already, so I'm proud of that, and it's something that's getting a little hippy dippy, but it's a journey, and I'm still on that journey, but that's okay. I'm an overland guy. I like journeys, so it's okay. Um, but then some of the benefits to increasing your mental health, I'll refer back to my notes real quick. Emotional resilience, that's a big one. Enhanced cognitive function, and then increased life expectancy. Emotional resilience, that's something we need as overlanders or road trippers or adventurers or whatever you want to call yourself. Things are going to go wrong. You're going to get upset about things. You're going to get your feelings hurt about things. You're going to plan for months to go somewhere and drive for days and get to a trail and find out it's closed. Or, you're going to have your heart set on a specific really cool camp spot and you're going to get there and it's going to be taken. Your car's going to break, you're going to break down. You're going to get stuck. Things are going to go wrong. And you have to be resilient enough to I'm not saying not get upset. I mean, that's normal. Get upset, but you need to be emotionally resilient enough to deal with it. And like I said, speaking as someone who's been working on this for a while, I definitely have more room to go when it comes to this. And I bet we all do. Uh, Enhance cognitive function. I mean, who doesn't want to be able to think better? I mean, this could be planning trips better, remembering things better. I mean, I know I try to, if I'm out, you know, running around or exploring or whatever, I'm always trying to save stuff in my Gaia or my Onyx so I don't forget about it. But man, it'd be nice to not have to worry about saving it and knowing, oh yeah, I'll remember that. I mean, I carry a notebook everywhere so I can write things down so I don't forget it. But that enhanced cognitive function, that you can't go wrong there. And finally, increased life expectancy. Um, yeah, I think we'd all like to be around a little bit longer and have more time to do the things we enjoy doing. I mean, it just makes sense. We'll be around. The other thing that's not real fun to talk about when it comes to the mental health part is I was kind of shocked when I started looking into this. Someone had suggested I maybe make a video or a reel or something about you know Men's Mental Health Month, and then that's what I thought it was. I thought November was Men's Mental Health Month, and I started looking it up, and no, it's actually Men's Health Awareness Month, and they do mean mental health, physical health, all that kind of stuff. But when I was looking into it and doing some research, I was really surprised. We start looking at the numbers. I'm gonna double check here on the computer, make sure I get these right. But uh, so from the age ranges of 10 to 44, and this chart. It's a CDC leading cause of death in 2020, and this is male and female. They've got it all combined. But from age of 10 to age of 44, suicide is either the number two or number three cause of death. It is higher than homicide, heart disease. I mean, how often do we hear about homicides and gun violence and all these things we need to do, and heart disease, which and these are all important things, but we're killing ourselves off faster than anything else is. This is ridiculous. The only thing that's doing it more is unintentional injuries. That's like car crashes and stuff. But the numbers are crazy. To imagine that people in my age range, the second most common thing that's going to kill them is themselves. We have a mental health problem across the country and probably the world, but there's things we can do. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying overlanding is the cure for mental health problems, but it could be a start. There's lots of health benefits of overlanding, physical and mental, but and I've listed on my notes here a bunch of different ones, and I tried to sort them by physical and mental, and which one falls into which category. But a lot of them kind of cross over. What some of the benefits I have written down first was just being active when you're out, whether it's hiking or if you want to sneak in other workouts or just setting up camp is being active. Going around and airing all your tires down and airing them back up when you get off the trail. It's being active. It's better than sitting on the couch doing nothing. So just to go overland, even though yeah, I know we sit in the car and drive for hours and hours, but it's more than that. It's all the packing stuff, the unpacking stuff, setting up camp, doing all these things. It's good for you physically, and I think doing those things, those physical things, are good for you mentally as well. Plus, a lot of us don't just do this when it's perfect weather or perfect conditions. We're out in the heat, the cold, the rain. I mean, God, rendezvous in the Ozarks this year. The forecast drastically changed. It was supposed to be 70 degrees and sunny, and it ended up being like 45 and rainy and cloudy the whole time. I was freezing and wet, and I should have been miserable, but I wasn't. I was having a great time. And experiences like that, where you're exposed to those not perfect conditions, they help build resiliency. You physically and mentally, you just kind of get a little tougher. I don't like saying it that way because it sounds a little too macho, but you get just used to things, and it makes you more resilient. And if you can put up with that, you can put up with a lot of other things. One of the other things, I forget the Japanese word for it, but it translates roughly to forest bathing. And apparently, this is something that they will actually like prescribe to people. Like doctors will prescribe that someone goes and does this, and it's just going out and being in nature. And there is something calming about being out in nature. It's I don't know if it's just being disconnected from phones and everything else and email and work. If it's just that, if it's just a change, um, I don't know what it is, but it's nice to just get out. And same thing, it's physical and mental. I mean, physically you get more relaxed, your heart rate goes down, you're getting more fresh air, you feel better physically, and then that in turn affects your mental health. You mentally kind of calm down. You're not worried about checking your phone every couple of minutes to see if you got a text or an email or whatever. Everything just sort of kind of calms down and starts running smoother. And that's another great benefit. This one's mostly in the mental category, but when it comes to overland trips, camping trips, road trips, whatever you want to call it, I feel silly saying overlanding 100 times in the video. For at least for me, I kind of look at trips in like three different categories. Sometimes I need a trip by myself. I need to go out and be 100 miles from another human and be with my own thoughts and just kind of process whatever's going on in my head and just be. I need to just exist for a little bit without worrying about anything else. And that's great, but not every trip needs to be that. Not every trip should be that. Sometimes you need to go out with a couple of buddies. And I'm not talking about a lot of people. I'm talking about like three or four, two or three. You need to kind of have your tribe. You need to have the folks that you can sit around the fire and BS, maybe get some things off your chest. And whether you go into deep things that are bothering you with this group of people, or, you don't have to do that. But it's just something about talking to folks, sharing a campfire. It just helps. And sometimes you need to go on big trips. You need to go on things with a lot of people. Overland rallies or like Rendezvous with Ozarks or the Sooner State Rally or stuff like that. Because this is where you make new friends, you meet new people, which is good for you mentally. You need to go out and meet people and just kind of get your brain firing and you start making those connections. And then at the same time, while you're there, you make those new friends, you hang out with old friends. You're kind of getting the same benefit that I was talking about with going out in a small group. And a lot of these things too, they have classes. You can learn things too. When you're going to the big things, if they got classes, you can learn things and stimulate your brain. It's better for your mental health again. And finally, the biggest thing when it comes to overlanding, the biggest health benefit, I think, uh, it's just having new experiences. Something that runs in my family is Alzheimer's. Both sides of my family, I'm doomed. I've already kind of assumed this is gonna be that's what my future looks like at one point. And they say one of the best ways to avoid that and kind of stave that off is continue learning new things, having new experiences. Don't let your brain get stagnant. And man, that's what overlanding is. It's going out, having new experiences, seeing new things, going new places. It's not always going to that one campsite at that state park that's 30 minutes from your house. It's going out. And it's not just finding, oh, I'm going to go run this crazy trail at Moab, or I'm going to go try to camp at like the craziest campsite at the Wave, or whatever that place is. It's driving through some random small town that you never would have even driven through and stopping and finding a crazy good burger place, or driving through and just being exhausted and stopping and getting a cold drink, or stopping and having a sandwich on the side of a mountain. It doesn't have to be anything fancy or grand or awesome. Sometimes you just need new. You just need a new experience. Uh, yeah, this video may have been a little long and rambly. I've been a little busy the last couple of days. Like I said, filming in the house and stuff. It's not a normal video for this channel, but if you've made it this far, I would like to say, if you're watching this on YouTube, we also release the audio as a podcast. You can find it wherever podcasts are found. Just search Stormcrow Overland. If you are listening to this as a podcast and you didn't know, we do release the video on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and just search Stormcrow Overland. You can also find us on Instagram at Stormcrow Overland. And finally, you can send me an email at stormcrowoverland@gmail.com. On any of those platforms, I'd greatly appreciate a like, comment, follow, subscribe, any of that kind of stuff. Um, Let me know what you think. Is there, am I completely off base? Is there some other big health benefit for you when it comes to this kind of stuff that I didn't think to mention? I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on this. Um, but yeah, like I said, I think this is a pretty good summary of some of the health benefits of overlanding and then why we need those health benefits, what it actually does for us. So yeah, just realize sometimes you have to go out and get lost and kind of boost your mental health before you can find yourself. Thanks for watching.